Good evening, everybody. This is our Platy Party race number two. I'm DM Stewart 1981. Alongside me in the booth is Saracen.
What's happening?
Not a whole lot. Let's talk flags.
Oh boy, do we have flags for you. Uh, so these will look familiar to some people who've been around for a while, or it's been long enough that you forgot, which is where I'm at and where at least a few of our racers are at tonight. This is from our SGL and also last year's Fall League Week 3, and these are going to be very interesting flags. I personally am a very large fan of these flags, as I am the champion of that tournament. So these ones are very much in my wheelhouse, and I think they're a great learning opportunity for us. We're going to go through these real quick. This is a real spicy flag set compared to what we've done before, but this is what racing looks like in FFR. So for this flag set, we are going to be doing 4 orbs, but we have a short Topher, and we have an alt final boss of double dragons. That means that you get Carry 2 and Tiamat 2. But wait, you'll find out more about that later. On to our next section, we have our difficulty scaling. Notice that there are no encounters, and the boss stats are 100 to 200%. Additionally, our XP and gold progressive scaling is based on orbs, not key items. Very important. But also, our XP and gold boost is pretty high.
So
we do not have XP chests in this.
So it's going to be entirely find a grind.
Find a grind and some other things. On to our next section. Oops, all loose. But very important note here, Darkmoon, if you can just scroll down a little bit on our thing here. Notice that the loose placement is chaotic. Chaotic tends to put the items very early. It clumps them up. It doesn't really think about making long logic chains generally. That's a very important word right there. It is a load-bearing word, I would even say. So keep in mind as you're looking for things, your key items will tend to be earlier.
That's good to know.
All right, on to our next section. We have early open progression, Northern Docks, and Bahamut Cardia Docks available to us this time around. The next thing, though, is Entrance Shuffle. We love Entrance Shuffle around here. Did you know that? Entrance Shuffle is nice in that once you find a dungeon, you know it's the whole dungeon. It's not the full confusion of entrance and floor. We'll do that later. Are very important. Life in battle, life 1 only. Fiends, alternate FF1 bonus pool. This is very important.
We have heal 3 at level 1 white.
Heal 3 level 1 white's a good spell.
Real good spell. And Fire 3 at level 1 black. Also really good spell. And it looks like we've got Ice Cave at Temple of Fiends. And it looks like Dwarf Cave
at
Canary Castle.
Important for our runners to know later on, there is Tavern Recruitment turned on. So each clinic is going to have a character that you can recruit, and you can replace an existing character in your party or a nun.
And was it A side or B side Spike Tiles?
Or B side. I do appreciate how many runners are kind of going into this just a little bit blind. Chanigan finding Sarda at the Dwarf Cave entrance. Very interesting there.
And Sarda has a crown.
Now, the important thing to remember is the crown doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. right? Like, it's all
Right.
loose. It could be anything.
That crown could be 5 gold, or that crown could be another key item.
It's true. We do have 2 bonus, 1 malice on our characters, half black belt crit rate, and no thief lock picking. That is a ruby coming from Bicky on Mecklen's side. Yeah, that'll about cover it. We do not have auto retarget on or magic spell reordering. Very
And
important to note, but
there
not
is
like
a waterfall somewhere. Purple looks like maybe Elfland Castle? No, Matoya.
Matoya.
Waterfall of Matoya.
That makes sense.
Because you can't get to Elfland Castle. Oh, and there's the fun police.
Yeah. One free fits finding Gershark Big Eye, which I'm actually intrigued by. But the real treasure on Chanigan's side is seeing multiple marked boxes in this waterfall.
Oh, the
Bruise
big eye
stick and
with
four
crack.
hammer, by the way.
That big eye's got crack. Just say no to crack, kids.
There were ruse sticks and Thor hammers for sale in Provoca. So what that tells us, this is another thing I didn't call out in the flags. These were a very busy flag, you know? Is that the weapon and armor shops have some fun stuff going on. So
yeah. They've got top end gear.
I see Rax has gotten our blursings out. Thank you so much. Rax and Giganaut doing our tracking today. Dark Moon, our restreamer. We back.
And I agree with Dark Moon. Blame Comcast. I mean, I like that. I like trying those big eyes. I actually agree with Chanigan's party here, with Thief, Black Belt, Red, White. Just given that that Black Mage is just awful, and that Black Belt's actually pretty good with the extra 800 gold, especially given the shops, and the
Elemental Plus is showing some good work here.
Yeah, Elemental Plus will do good work. And Ravioli, of course, going solo Red Mage. Because that's just kind of how Ravioli rolls.
Okay, so explaining the mute curse. If you have a ribbon equipped, you are automatically affected by the mute status at the start of battle. I believe it can be cured, but you have to have somebody actually do that then.
Yeah.
And that can be a challenge.
It looks like Cure 3 at level 2 white, and I didn't notice what else Mechlin had at level 2 white, or level 2 black rather. It's that Fire 3 was at level 1. Sorry, even though I've been doing this for a couple of weeks, I'm still getting back into the groove of back into the gestalt of trying to watch 4 screens.
It is a challenge. One free fits. Going after these Rankylos, I think that is a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see how it works out for him. There's a chime out of one of those packs, out of one of those monster in boxes that Mechlin finds.
You know, I'm really appreciating Mechlin's party right now. Leaning into having all mages at the start is actually really solid in this flag set, specifically because the melees don't do a whole lot right out the gate. That is an Oxiel coming out of that Gator Hydra box.
And Chanigan just trying to run from the fun police.
You know, you get the 4-pack, you got a lot of things to worry about.
Yeah.
Slab, Oxyale, and Chime from that waterfall in total. That is interesting news.
Okay, Cure 2, Cure 3, A-Lit, and Fear. So, obviously, you take Cure 3 and that's it.
Fear has a place. It's not really here, though.
Cake
It's
and
mostly
Ice
for
3.
memes.
Cake and Ice 3 at level 2 black.
Yeah, the Ice 3 is very good. Ravioli trying to work on that Ice Cave, notably that drop down had a pack of Argoyles with heat. And it is so difficult to convey just how frustrating that can be. It is just enough to stymie you. It doesn't matter if you're solo or with a party, right? Like, that can be enough. Airs. Please no. They have Stone Touch. So, what I would like to impart to our ducks here tonight, and all of our viewers, because I know that there are some folks who are, maybe not as familiar with these flags. The hardest part is getting yourself off the ground, right?
Yeah.
And finding your initial key items to just do a thing. And oh boy, is it a fun challenge sometimes. And it's very easy to make it very hard on yourself.
Also, Ravioli is getting turn ordered badly.
Yeah. So, the thought process here, if you're trying to address the systemic challenge. All right, first one, he's looking to see what he can hire, which is very important. Knowing that that's not going to be more damage is important. The other thing, though, is how do you get levels, right? Your options are fight things that are in boxes, or find a spike tile that's worthwhile. And let me tell you, a box with 5 airs, as is the case on Mecklen's side right now, is terrifying. They have Squint too
as well.
Welcome, Raiders from G Mundi. You are watching the Duck Boot Camp Week 5.
Mecklin just got through that air pack. And
for
it's
the cube. Useful later. That is required. The Chime and the Oxyale are actually, humorously enough, potentially not needed in this flag set. They're just extra locations. So the fact that we have seen a Chime and such so far, Ravioli doing a full reroll in order to get a thief.
Be able to run.
10 minutes in, that hurts to do, but man, I really do appreciate the thought process there.
So Mecklin getting through that air pack is really a big deal because that's a ton of levels.
It is. It is so much experience for that pack that it is a marvel. Now, you almost want to just walk out and save with that. And it is really hard to continue pushing. Like, especially knowing, like, when you're sitting right here in front of this monster in a box, what do you get? Okay, it's Gerwolves. Whatever. We're fine. Like,
big whoop. And the spike tile there is Whiz Mummies and Mummies.
That's honestly not bad, given what they have.
Ice Armor +4 in the pack, or in the 6-pack, and that was a key.
That key is very important, because Dwarf is now fully unlockable. Also, there's just 4 marked boxes in this room. That's a canoe for Chanigan.
Yeah, that's...
with rock goals.
Rock goals are also very tasty XP.
They are. I'm a little concerned about the decision to go for damage here. I would have used the cake. It's not great, but neither is your damage spell. But this is... Oh, we are going to get through this by the looks of it.
They're not all that thick, though, so...
The chip 4 damage in melee from 3 characters gets the job done to get that rod. I love it.
Okay, that's a Sahag pack. That's nothing.
Sahag pack is kind of a whatever. You can get that with Ice 3. The Fire 3 did it too, which is pretty awesome.
And that's an herb.
We do see 2 marked boxes in Dwarf Lock. Sun plus 5. That is a viable endgame sword in these flags.
Yeah, that's a viable endgame sword in any flags.
Yeah, mostly. So, single fighter that leads with trance and then X-Furs. This is on Mecklin's screen. I'm entertained more than anything. And that was something that just instantly killed slot 2. For the bottle. The bottle, almost never important. The TNT immediately behind Narek. Oh, the jokes.
You want to talk lazy... Yeah, you want to talk lazy dwarves.
The jokes in this scene already. I will not apologize to our runners for this.
This is beautiful.
Mecklin getting that canoe as well. Yeah. Oh, the adamant was the other item in Dwarf? I beautiful. Did. I am the one who rolled this. Did you know that my seeds come with jokes? Like that adamant being turned in for 6 gold?
That is absolutely beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean disgustingly funny. 1 free fits, jumping out.
I recommend somebody clip that because that can go onto our YouTube shorts.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Chanigan has found Mirage Sky,
which
but does not seem to have a cube marked so far, which tells me that waterfall was a problem? Or no, the cube was in ice.
The cube is one of the... I don't know that Chanigan got all of the marked boxes in ice.
Oh, there was the loot on Mecklin's side, by the way. Which, honestly, Mecklin is technically in go mode. I mean, we don't know for sure, alright? Because we don't know where the Fiend dungeons are and where Topher's at.
Right.
But what we do know, we do know where Mirage Sky is. So yes. Theoretically, this could be fully contained in the inner sea.
Which would also be...
That would be the level of jokes that my seed rolling gives, yes.
Yes, that was going to say, that would also be ridiculously funny.
1 free fits doing the checks in dwarves as well.
And I like checking the non-marked boxes first.
Absolutely.
Especially because Sun plus 5.
Water Naga tile, I believe, is in the top 5. There is a ranking that Fizzle has done in the past of XP output per encounter tile. Ice 3 being available at level 2 makes this actually super good. So this is one of those places that you put into your back pocket and you keep.
Also Ice 3 on that black belt.
Yes. substantial boost right there.
And there's our clip. Thank you, Dark Moon.
That one was worthwhile in every possible way. Ruse Stick coming out. So, Mage Fighter is great until you realize what that fighter does.
Yeah. Until you realize that fighter leads with Trance and X-Fur and...
Yeah. There's just a whole lot going on with that fighter. Chanigan, it is time to run.
Yeah.
He's going for it.
It's Rub. That was the insta-kill that the fighter had.
Gotcha. Alright, Mechlin has found Mirage. Is also going to check the first floor at least. Now, because the cube has been found, this is extremely viable. To like look around at the very least. You know, we could check Elfland, get magic, and just, you know, go to town from there, right? Like we could, theoretically, if levels 3 and 4 are good, we could just like clear the whole place. It's not that hard if we get decent magic coming out of here.
Is it Town Shuffle as well?
No, that is Nuke at level 3 as well as Quad X.
Oh, hello.
Life, Exit, and Life 2. Now, do the runners recognize that Life 1 in battle is on? Chanigan appears to have... Oh no, he was doing it on the Red Mage. Because that one was learnable. But Life 1 is in battle turned on, not Life 2. That made a difference during the tournament and during Fall League. So, very important.
A Harm 4 and a Lock 2 at level 4. Is White Mage improved Harm on?
Sure is. We've got Heals, Cures, and Expensive Houses. We are actually buying several on Chanigan's side. Mechlin also making the play into Elfland. One free fits going after some Gersharks here. Gershark Big Eye just to get a couple levels in? Oh, for the TNT. Okay.
Yes.
For the humorous disappointment.
For the ultimate in Lazy Dwarves.
Ravioli into the waterfall checks. Which were not super productive. Like, they were helpful, but they were not amazing.
So there's also an Ice +1 in that Dwarf Locked.
Anybody who can use the ice can also use the sun. And yeah, you're just going to use the sun.
But when you have two that can use, like, the Ninja and the Red Wizard...
Or if there was a... Oh, there's Sea Shrine. Was that at Elfland?
That looked to be at Elf Castle.
There's a power bonk for sale. Suddenly we have infinite damage. We have a ruse stick. We have a power bonk. We are good to go.
We are good to go on damage.
Chanigan making his way back to the Ice Cave location. I'm going to clear out the rest of those boxes. The chain shirts and the Procade +5 getting equipped on Mechlin's side. One free fits. Has a lot of stuff to work with here.
Welcome to our Raiders. Welcome to the Raiders from Lord Nikto. This is the Final Fantasy Platy Party.
/ Duck Boot Camp.
Yes.
So you can see Mechlin here doing a very methodical check through Sea Shrine and not worrying whatsoever about encounters because we have no encounters, which makes us the best Sea Shrine you'll ever encounter.
Yeah.
Mage Stick, very helpful. Chanigan gets that cube, which is very helpful. We kind of need that.
Procate +5.
Having 2 Procate +5s this early is fantastic.
Money.
And honestly, I like clearing this out just because there's a lot here.
The Bubbles Soda Company thanks you. And there's a Power Bonk.
Power Bonk also very helpful. Yes, indeed, we do thank everyone who assists in carbonating these mermaids. All right, I see a marked box here. I think it's a ship.
That would be
tragic,
that
honestly.
would be
It dashes my dreams of having the all inner sea walking / canoeing tour for a seed. It is the ship. Okay. Sad.
Well, it still might be the all inner sea walking tour.
Yes, in theory, but way less likely.
Way less likely, but it is still a possibility. There's the rod for Chanigan.
So Chanigan doing all of the cleanup in ice, and there are just so many items there. That ice cave was loaded. Mechlin getting through much quicker. They just had a good route and a good party composition for this. And a real key to these flags, again, is knowing that you will have the flexibility to replace your party members through that tavern recruitment.
It is. That is a big...
This was a wonderfully complex flag set to play for the SGL tournament, and it is still a wonderful flag set to this day. It was great in Fall League as well. I'm glad we poached it from Fall League for this.
Ravioli gets that key.
Ravioli looking to see just how much is he going to have to come back for. One free Fitz finding the level 3 magic. Probably much happier for it.
There's an iron goal in that trap box.
I mean, sure, it's nice. We love iron goals. However, we don't really love them right now. It's just not enough. Ah, that was the loot. Okay.
Ooh, Nightmare Evil Man. No. Just no.
The first strike was nice.
Yeah. Meant you got away from it.
Almost full low rolls on the nuke. Classic. Mechlin pulling up on our first Fiend. So this looks like a Kraken, but it's a Hafgufa, and that is different. Very technically. It still hits as hard as a Kraken. These are 100 to 200% scaling bosses, as that first mage just found out. But when you have multiple nuke casters and a harm forecaster, yeah, you need to just sort of light that orb. It's fine. So first orb lit 26-ish. 26 and change. Ravioli, now having the struggle of a lifetime, needing to... Oh, the crit comes through the ruse. The two-man strats are valid, but man, they're hard.
Man, are they hard.
Alright, Mechlin going back to Dwarf to find out all of the entertaining news.
But Ravioli's going to do what Ravioli does, and Ravioli does two-man strats.
Ravioli likes to play a little bit of hard mode sometimes. And that's fine. I'm not going to begrudge somebody playing the way that they want to play.
And when it works well, like it did when he raced me in Winter Tournament, he will destroy you.
Very competent racer.
When it doesn't work well, you have a chance.
Ravioli also notably makes some very interesting flags from time to time. So, very interesting person to see just how he completes his process.
Yeah, how he approaches the randomizer.
Well, that's a Titan, which means we have a Titan wormhole somewhere.
It goes
so dead ends are not shuffled in the entrance shuffle, so that is literally nothing. If there are no marked boxes here, it is a reset back out of the river. Hey look, it's a reset back out of the river.
That must have been at ice because it was gray.
It was at ice, yes. Marsh Cave at Volcano. We've gone from green to red. Meanwhile, One Free Fit's wandering through the Sea Shrine, getting to the mermaid floor here. We'll soon get his ship.
And EXP's in the box, so...
I don't hate it. The thing is, Chanigan is also high enough level that they could run.
Yeah. And that's a floater.
That solves all of Chanigan's problems. Quite literally, Chanigan is missing a chime, which is theoretically not necessary, and a ship that he will never care about.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of unfortunate for Mechlin, in that that ship will drag Mechlin literally everywhere else. And suddenly Volcano is just not a priority location. Chanigan trying to think, alright, where do I need to go now? As much as that orb lead that Mechlin has is a big deal, and the fact that Mechlin is working through Sky right now, Chanigan just found Earth.
Titan's West.
So we are literally finding Volcano and Topher away from fully finishing the seed. Yeah. And that is the true essence of the nonsense in this flag set. Like I said, this is a very fun and complicated and deep flag set that it struggles to get off the ground sometimes, and then once it's there, it's all there. And you gotta just go for it. Sea snakes, nope, pass. Sleep snakes, no.
Yeah, that's definitely a nope.
Ravioli about to find out the humorous news 30 minutes in.
And Fog 2, Mechlin is...
Up to Sky 3.
Up to Sky 3.
Mechlin also to the point of saying, I'm not going to take random boxes anymore.
Yeah. Mechlin only looking for that floater. Which...
Yeah. Well, we know.
Which we know that floater is at Volcano.
Master Vampire, again, one of our alternate fiends here. I didn't realize he had kind of a tail of, or trail back. But this is news. So the important thing to keep in mind with alternate fiends, as Chanigan is fighting the Hooray Dwarf himself. I love it. So we have Master Vampire will be part of the final fight as M-Vamp 2. We do not know what our other final boss, the Carry 2 equivalent, will be. But this is all information we needed to know. Alright, Chanigan, having swept through, is now gonna check spells. Cure 4 Red Mage learnable. The best news.
Yeah, that is excellent news. Alright, Titans East is a Cardia.
So is Earth Cave.
So
we are looking for a volcano and a Toph. Everything else we can just say no. Alright, Chanigan looking to head into Sea Shrine. Cool.
I'd like to think I would, I'd like to think I'd head for, that's a Matoya.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a waste. And sort of recognized in a way. Now, Northern Docks are on, and this is going to be a very funny moment when... Actually, this could drive Mechlin to check Volcano.
This could take Mechlin to checking Volcano. And getting the... it did not.
Now we're checking Northern Docks now. Okay. I get it. We have an Oxiel, so that means that there's 2 entrances here. And until you see a double item in the shop, you are kind of compelled to check the item shops as well.
Because it could be a floater.
Yeah.
It's Cardia.
Cardia the Third. We're back to the dock. We're going to go up and check the waterfall. Chanigan about to go find that half Gufa at Kraken, which is just, you know, a little bit of French vanilla in a way. But that right there is Bahamut. And that is promotion. So Mechlin going to get that promotion. They will walk out of there a little bit more advanced. Learn some more spells, I guess. Notice also the Bahamut Horde is on. So if you were interested in getting all of the stuff of Cardia, it's right here. You are also starting with the free tail. Very helpful. Excal neutral?
Excal neutral. That's...
It's not bad. It's notable that the Excal is very strong in this flag set because we don't have Chaos. We have double dragons. And that means that you're still getting your type weakness bonus.
Which means if I'm Mechlin, I may be going and looking for... I may be hitting up the
clinics for a fighter?
Clinics. Yeah, the clinics and finding a fighter.
So let's talk about recruitment real quick, because this is a real important lesson. When you recruit and you are replacing an existing character, the new character will have all of that first character's experience. But, Mechlin's finding that Chime is required that Chanigan does not have marked yet? Chanigan's acting like he's going there, though. So the important thing with the recruit, though, is when you recruit...
Yeah, Chanigan does have it.
Okay. When you recruit, you start at level 1 and apply the experience. Why does that matter? Well, if you promoted and then you recruit a black belt as a master, you have the bad MDef growth the whole way through.
You have crap MDef.
So you will be getting that 1 MDef per level the entire way up. Mecklin's showing off something here that you will not see from many runners. In Volcano, usually you're running across the lava tiles because you're avoiding encounters. We don't have any of those, so we cannot walk on the lava if we're so inclined. We're going to check a tile, find out it's Caribs. One Free Fits has lit the water orb as well.
And Mecklin thinking through things. That is an Agama tile. Agama tile is not awful.
I love it. I love it after we beat this boss.
Yes.
And light that orb. Sarda. Okay, Sarda presents some concerns because Sarda in Topher is a menace. Believe that Sarda, by and large, has a bunch of instant kills. So there is a guide to the alternate fiends on the wiki, which I'm going to try to find while I'm talking, but who knows if I will be successful. But yeah, the alternate fiends are a very big deal. And being able to look at them and see what we got going on, yeah, Alt Fiends Guide. Here it is. All right.
And we've got Chanigan. We've got Chanigan danning off. Looks like Chanigan's going to be danning off his party.
Yep. Lit the third orb, and on we go.
And since we have no encounter table, all spike tiles are free tiles.
It's true. So, notable things that will be in our boss pool of skills. Halfgufa brings Lit 3s, Swirl, Thunder, Bane, Quad X. The Hooray Dwarf brings Quad X, Bane, Brack, Fire 3, Quad X, Zap, Bane, Slow 2, as well as having Stone Poison, Glance, Crack, and Squint. Little scary. The Master Vampire will bring Wall, Lit 3, Ice 3, and some other things. Tornado is in there, Toxic, Glance, and Stone Poison.
That was a 4 Agament fight, and it was 25,000 XP.
The XP bonus per lit orb is a really big deal. Sarda, notably, brings a no skills to the table. Quad X, Ice 3, Bane, Fade, Slow 2. So there are multiple Slow 2s in the pool. And Quake. So yeah, we got a lot going on right there. But definitely check out the Alternate Fiends guide that I linked in the chat here. That will provide the information that you need in order to navigate these if you are so inclined to learn in advance.
The only place that we have not yet found Topher.
That's true, but I'm not super concerned about that prospect. As we're thinking through the available locations that have not been checked, it's just the Cardia Isles. Cardia Isles are the only places we haven't looked. Ordeals has been seen. That was Matoya. Mechlin had checked ordeals and reset out of it when there was nothing there. Ravioli pushing through Elfland.
Mechlin is also taking the Agma tile, but it's taking it on the Agma floor.
I respect it in the sense that, you know, we've got 2 orbs lit and we're running a mage party and we're just gonna, you know, make sure that we have the resources to do the fight and then leave.
Yeah.
Shanigan superpowering this black belt is going to have no difficulties in Topher, most likely. I say that because there were some Tophers in the tournament that were real bad.
There is that 3 and 256.
Not just that, the 100 and 200% scaling resulted in a couple of just double punch-outs. Additionally, the 3 and 256 does matter. It is more than 3 and 256 for the slow 2 to hit, though. Unless Chanigan takes it to the moon. Chanigan stops at 43. That is not quite the moon.
That is
so
not
it will
quite
be
the moon.
Slightly higher than 3 and 256 chance of either of those slow 2s to land.
Yeah, I would seriously consider taking it all the way to the pseudo ribbon.
Chanigan is headed to finish out Sky. We're going.
Yeah.
Heal pot strats because we want to save our one tent. Or one house.
Well, I mean,
this is going to be a very fast Sky.
Yeah, I mean, we're go-moding this.
Doesn't even bother with bringing the rest of the party up. And I get it. The rest of the party is a bunch of sponges as far as we care.
Yeah, at this point. Unless we find fast. Which
Chanigan isn't going to look for it.
Well, knowing that slow 2 is out there, knowing I've got potentially 200% scaling, I'm kind of wanting fast.
I get that. Seven hits, 267 damage.
That's a lot of absorb.
Uh-huh. You know, Tijuana has always been known for her absorb. It's just a matter of, you know, we're going to crack it eventually, right? It takes enough hits, and then we're fine. That is all 4 orbs lit for Chanigan.
And
it is time to find a Topher. Well, it's time to revive a party, buy all the heal pots, and then
find a Topher.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's fine. Mechlin at 3 orbs just needs to find Earth, which is locked behind that floater. So that does say it's time to go get a canoe trip to ice.
To go check ice and
volcano. Sorry. Yeah, volcano entrance.
And he is parked at the right, and they are parked at the right spot for that.
Yep. I fully understand where they're at. Notable, One Free Fits has 2 ribbons, which I believe was just purchased out of the Crescent Lake shop. Yes, they can be for sale. No notable magic in the level 6 magics. And it is time for Chanigan to check and find an ordeals. And so we find that Cardia Forest is our Topher tonight. What I think is going to happen here is he's going to open it up, use the loot, and then walk out.
Yeah.
Or just force it, and believe. Nope, we're exiting. Okay. This plan makes sense. This Topher has a very high probability of being mean. And realistically, like, the magic we have doesn't solve the problem. We don't have temper. We don't have fast. We're quite... Oh, we do have fast on the red mage in the level 8
Yes, we
spots.
do.
Alright, correction. Alright, started down. But realistically, we have 2 life casters. And that is the reason to keep the party around. We have evasion in the form of the thief up front, and we're just going to trust that this black belt can push us through. Bane rolls out and literally wipes the party. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Good story,
it's Bane
guys.
Mode time.
Master Vampire, suddenly worthy of respect. We are rusing. We are going to live through this. That was not enough damage. We are now power bonking.
Yeah. Well, we're not doing any of that anymore, because... mute.
Oh!
But we could punch. But...
46, actually helpful. It is going to matter, I think, that we have that little bit of extra MDef.
Soup casts punch. It's super effective.
Alright, the ruse goes out before the punch does. That's good news. Stone Poison and Zap do nothing. That's even better news. Now it is time for the Power Bonk. A Fade comes out from Sarda for good damage. It rolled up.
Yeah.
The Mute does not land this time. The Exfer comes out and is not consequential. We're using MDef, not a ribbon. Ice 3, Lit 3 for chip damage. Ice 2 for chip damage and a miss. That is 4 hits and takes out the Master Vampire. We've just got Sarda left.
That's
Sarda's gone. GG Chanigan finishing with a 49-28.
GG Chanigan.
Hello.
You remembered the flags. We got there.
Oh, that was so much fun. God, I missed those flags. Oh, I remember why I liked them during SGL. They're so much fun. The just everything went south at the beginning, which is exactly what I wanted. Oh, this is amazing. This was amazing.
Everything always goes south at the beginning of these flags.
Yeah. No, Jesus. I got lucky and got the canoe out of that, I think it was Ice Cave.
Yep.
So that got me going. Thank God for that.
So how did you like the dwarf?
Oh my God, they're so lazy. Oh boy.
It was bad enough that I requested somebody clip it, and Dark Moon had her back on that.
Perfect. That was so bad. I told myself, like, wow, this is a new lazy.
Yeah, that was a new level of lazy.
Oh yeah.
Dwarfs.
So apparently ribbons were for sale in Crescent Lake. I don't think it mattered for you.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Mechlin loaded up on
pack. By the way, One Free Fits finds a Sparkle pack in Marsh Locked.
Oh, it's not the full Sparkle pack.
Fine.
We don't have the regular vampires in there.
The Agamas were fine.
Agamas were great. They treated you very well.
Yes. Good thing they didn't have a lot of HP and didn't hit too hard.
I was a little surprised that you didn't take the Agamas all the way to the pseudo ribbon.
I was what, 43, 44, something like that. That was good enough.
43 when you finished the grind.
Yeah. Yeah, more than enough. That's almost max MDF.
Yeah, the 46 that you got out of Master Vampire 2
Mm-hmm.
was enough to bring you across the board, but it was a little spooky when that mute landed.
Oh, that mute. Yeah, this is why I punched the Master Vampire first on the Double Dragon.
Yeah.
I was so scared of that mute, and thankfully it missed. Well, I don't think it would have mattered even if it hit me because I had 2 stacks of rules and 2. Well, before the I power bonked, I had 2 power bonk stacks. So
Mechlin finds that Earth and is gonna just go mode Earth because is in the position where that's all they need.
So, Chanigan, your recommendation to the Ducks as they get into this flag set this week?
get lucky and find the canoe for that specific seed. Yeah, just find the canoe. Towns, well, early magic is pretty powerful and like it can get you through most difficult enemies, like we saw in Ice Cave and in Waterfall, which was just awful. Yeah, other than that, just this flag set is more, at least personally, just more of a black belt seed, since we have B-side encounters. It just makes it easier for the black belt to grind instead of just trying to find a weapon. You might have a weapon in a weapon shop. I think I found an Excal -2 in a weapon shop somewhere.
Neutral.
Neutral, okay.
Neutral.
I think I found it somewhere in a shop. So it wouldn't have been too bad, but still, you have to open boxes maybe for the fighter, and I don't know. I like the black belt. It's been a while since I've played black belt.
Oh no, it wasn't you that found it in the box. It was Mechlin found it in the box.
Yeah, I think I
Oh,
found.
there it
I
is. It's
saw
an
them in the
Elfman.
shop. Yeah,
It's
I
an
saw
Elfman.
them in the shop. Pretty sure.
It was Katana that was -2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember something was -2 in that shop.
And Mechlin is going to get lucky and find Toph in the first place on Cartier looks. If they look.
But I think I had a bit of an advantage on on everyone else since I played a lot of those flag sets. I think I played with a 3-man instead of a 4-man.
3-man was a strong meta for the tournament, but 4-man I think ended up just working out better for the early game.
Yeah.
And so it was usually like a Dan down situation.
Mm-hmm. And the getting it's mostly because I think it's the getting the characters down for the grind, the black belt grind. I think that's why the meta was 3-man, and I don't know, getting them down during this seed was just pretty free.
Okay, Mechlin pulls Sarda 2, gets through Sarda 2. Is it a
Hafgufa, the part where the things got weird.
Yep. Good old Bane.
Well, everyone stays up from that Bane.
Mechlin has a full fleet of ribbons.
Yeah.
So that's not really too much of a surprise. So I think really the canoe was something you actually got later than Mechlin did. Mechlin had kind of an astounding early game. The floater, however, that was your true get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mechlin found the ship first.
Oh,
Mechlin had cleared sea while you walked around and did the whole thing to go to Ice and Volcano. So you never bothered to go to Mermaids to find the ship. And
Right,
that's
yeah.
actually one of those keys to chaos logic in the loose placement, is that, again, because it is placing it generally early, you actually kind of need to think, what did I open up? Don't go there. What do I still have available?
Mhm.
That's what I need to focus on, right? So staying to that early sphere usually plays into your favor when you're looking
Yep.
for these key items.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Mechlin pulls the double dragons. Sorry, Ian.
You're good.
Zap not effective because full fleet of ribbons. Poison not effective. Is it damage or stone poison?
I believe that was
Stone.
stone poison. I don't
Stone
believe damage
poison.
poison was in the pool with any of these alt fiends. So, Chanigan, did you have any thoughts about using the recruitment option here, or was the plan just I'm taking my party as it is and we're just going to stay that way?
Yeah, pretty much that. Didn't need anything.
Oh, Phoenix.
I
Phoenix
didn't
says,
really need anything. The
That's it. Get your GGs out in chat for Mechlin.
Oh, GG's.
Mechlin is second on stream, third overall with an official race time GG time of 57:56. Just behind Phoenix 29 with an official time of 55:28.
GG's, McLean.
Why floater placement?
So,
Yeah, I lucked out on that.
I
so
don't even remember where I found the canoe at.
Ice
the
Cave.
canoe was part of the ice nonsense.
Oh,
The
okay.
six, six
yeah.
boxes.
Okay,
That
I heard you guys
Phoenix-
talking there.
That was the one. That was the one box Phoenix skipped over in ice.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember which box even it was, but yeah. Okay, that makes sense because Ice Cave was like Sphere 0 essentially.
Mhm.
Yep. So the key really was you had the canoe as your access to the whole Circle C,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
you used that to get to Sea Shrine, which then had the ship.
Yep.
So there was, a little bit of convoluted logic on that one, but
Okay, that makes sense now. I basically checked everything at that point, and my last stop was Volcano, which had the floater chest in it, whatever that entrance was. I remember walking into Volcano and when I found the floater chest in there somewhere. So
yeah.
yeah.
It was
Marsh Cave.
Marsh.
Yeah,
Marsh top.
Cave. And
That's
was,
right,
yeah,
Marsh,
Marsh
yep, okay.
Top. Yeah.
I think I was laughing because it was Marsh, and I remember the tournament being "Don't fade Marsh."
Yup. I
Yup.
know that.
Oh, that
Kidding
one
me? It's gonna be
feed.
here. Are you kidding me right now? Because then the only other option was Crescent Lake, was the NPC. I think I literally turned in everything else I possibly could at that point.
Yep. That sounds right to me.
Great, fun stuff. I love these flags though.
Oh yeah, there's so much fun. Especially when we have this kind of beginning where everything just completely destroys you,
Yep.
and it's like a big puzzle to just try and get out of there. It's always
Also, Mechlin,
always fun.
those dwarves.
Oh yeah, the lazy dwarves that were not so lazy. I don't know how you describe that. I saw the adamant and then I was like, oh, lazy dwarves? And then I saw the TNT and I was like, this is stupid. What is this? They didn't have anything either.
No.
They didn't, which was the even bigger joke. But
Mhm.
I said when it was discovered, which it was either you or Chanigan that got there first. I think it might have been Chanigan. But I said that my seeds have jokes, and this was the joke, right?
Yep.
We did get a clip of that, thanks to Darkmoon.
Nice. Awesome.
That will be going in the Shorts channel, I'm sure. It will be
Awesome.
great.
Good stuff.
One free Fitz. Actually in a pretty good position here, missing the rod, which that was one of the earlier places.
Yeah.
I want to
think
say that was ice.
water.
Or
It was
no,
either ice
water.
or waterfall.
It was
One of the two.
waterfall, I think.
And has the water orb lit. So that's looking good. Now it's a matter of find entrances, pick up that rod. Be very disappointed that you have not picked up that rod.
Oh yeah, I'd be screaming right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That early magic was really, really nice. It was really kind this seed. I know when this was played during Fall League, I did some practices and I rolled a lot of seeds where magic was unkind and you had to really rely on stuff like Bane and Cake. Zap, I remember a seed where it was Zap was the only sweeper out of the first 2 magic shops, and you just had to just deal with it basically.
Yeah, we got lucky on magic, at least at level 3.
Yeah,
Level 1 and 2 were
absolutely
very
disgusting.
meh.
That's absolutely disgusting, having to depend on Zap as the only sweeper you get in the first 2 levels.
It's not that bad. Remember, if you remember the tournament at all, in the finals, Wildham and I didn't have any damaging magic, and we had to fight Iron Gulls for, like, the ship or something. It was absurd.
I think I do remember that, yeah.
And what ended up being the case for me was ruse and temper for days on an unarmed thief. It was glorious.
Yeah, I remember that.
And cope. So
oh yeah.
I put the Thief Punch gif out a lot because it's one of my favorites. But the Iron Goals being we just need to punch these was a really important thing. Sometimes you have to think around your problems in goofy ways, and this flag set forces that.
Oh, and Dark Moon, our restreamer, makes a very good point in chat. This is an excellent flag set to learn the maps because there's no encounters.
Yep. Yeah, just how fast you can go from point A to point B.
I think practicing this flag set during Fall League really helped narrow down my step routing.
Yeah, anytime that you have these no encounter ones, it's a great time to explore and sometimes even drill floors. Yeah. And yes, there are maps for step routing on the wiki. That is available in the documentation. It's very lines on maps.
Yeah, those maps are excellent tools. I know I use those a lot. Learning the correct routing and then practicing seeds like this with no encounters really hammers that in, like exactly what the muscle memory is.
I don't dislike. I don't dislike the play Fitz was making. Checking all of those chests to see if the rod was in Earth. As we know, it wasn't, but that was actually a good play.
Yeah. Funny enough, I almost lost to Icure because of making similar play. I don't know if I will live that one down, but I did manage to squeak that one out somehow. Rod at Matoya in one of the seeds that I had at the tournament. Yup. Just hiding behind a crystal the whole time. Never thought it was important.
Yeah, those NPCs will get you on these flags.
They're tricky.
They absolutely will.
Yeah.
The NPCs are tricky because you don't get to see the little attack mark that shows that it's a marked box.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, it's just Matoya. I already checked the 3 chests in her cave. It can't be her. Right?
And it is.
Sometimes.
And
So I think
Wondery Fitz trying to figure out where that rod is.
That is the strangest place I've ever seen that airship land.
Yeah.
seen it win.
It's not bad. It was just
Not
strange.
bad. Oh, Fitz, don't do it. Don't promote.
Fitz has a black belt, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fitz has a black belt. And there he goes. There he goes.
The memory.
I was very happy to stumble across that.
You took the route of buying all of the things you needed to finish the seed, and that worked out well for you. You know, it was just hashtag where floater, why floater,
Pretty much.
why do this?
I had seen the X-Cal early whenever I went to Elfland, and I figured, okay, that's probably going to be my end game. I remember that there was a black belt there too, but like I saw the Agamas and I just went for a party grind on them, just so that I knew that my party was safe. In hindsight too, with that, I probably should have gone and killed Carrie, and then done the grind to get the extra experience, since it's tied to orbs. But I didn't think of it at the time until I was about halfway through the grind, and then I was like, well, I'm here, I'll just finish it. But I was looking for the breakpoint. I remember the X-Cal rolled neutral, so I wanted to get my fighters to level 29 to hit that extra hit of breakpoint. And then I knew with the HP that I was going to have, I was pretty much going to be able to tank a lot of things. And then finding those ribbons was like, wow, okay, sure, I'll take 4 ribbons, why not?
And Fitz gets into Volcano.
I never went into Crescent, so I never saw the those ribbons.
I was still looking for the fighter at that point, so that's why I went in there to check the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just took a 4-man. I took Thief, Black Belt, White Mage, and Red Mage.
Oh, I took 2 red and white black.
Okay.
I wanted to
by
have.
the way, was a very interesting, aggressive play to start out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could work. It can work if early magic is decent. Like, you don't need those like those melee characters early on.
Right. I figured I
If
had
magic
enough.
so if magic is pretty decent, like that's all you
Right,
need.
and that's why I went with the double red instead of like 2 white, 2 black.
Yeah. The only reason I went black belt early, because normally I just take a black belt and in the
Taverns.
a tavern, yeah. But the LM plus blursing, I'm like, just in case early magic is bad, I'll take that. I'll take 1 black belt, so I have like Fire 3 or something like that.
Fitz is pretty much in Wear Rod mode.
Yup. The good news for Fitz, though, is that this is like the exploration that is needed is being done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is, it's going to be a very reasonable fight against Sarda here, assuming heal. Nope, we're very low.
Ooh.
Oh, there was a Masa -2. Hooray!
And see, here's
Alright.
the other thing. Here's the only thing I would like to see Fitz, would like to have seen Fitz do during the course of this volcano is to check the spike tiles. Especially because we know that Agama, and you're almost all the way to having party grind, to having black belt solo for a black belt grind.
So I think what we're going to want to do here, spoiler alert, 1 free Fitz still actively running the seed with the delay. Also, interesting place to park that airboat again. Let's go ahead and do final thoughts.
Yeah, that is something.
Let's do final thoughts, and then we'll raid over to Fitz to finish out, I think.
Okay.
So, Chanigan, I'm not surprised because, you have the experience behind you, and sometimes you just get lucky. But your final thoughts on the seed here, as you are, I know, still not scoring points as
Yeah, I'm
somebody
not.
who can't,
Yeah,
but
not scoring points since I won a solo tournament, so can't score points here. But it's really just for fun that I do that, and to like show how quickly you can do those flags, and just to play because hey, I was a bit bored tonight, so so why not? But yeah, GG's again, everyone.
What are the hats
That's
not
what-
playing tonight?
that's tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Yep. But
I knew the playoffs started tonight, but we're starting right about now.
But yeah, GG's again, everyone that run was a fun race, and thanks you guys for streaming, commentating, tracking, all that stuff as always, and thanks RPG Limit Break for lending us their channel for that.
All right, Mechlin, your final thoughts.
First off, GG's to everybody that ran the seed, and thanks to the crew for coming out, RPG Limit Break, and all that stuff. But the Ducks, definitely don't sleep on insta kills. The FF1 alt fiends have a lot of weird resistances. There's a page on the wiki page to go check that out for alternate fiends. I know a lot of times you can rely on Bane, Cake, Brack to take down quite a handful of those fiends. They're weak to poison. So like if you don't have any damaging spells in your first couple levels, but you see Bane, you see Brack, you see Cake, definitely take them just in case. They're sweet. Bane and Quake are sleepers. They can do insta kills on other enemies as well, and it might be your only way to get through the seed. So definitely don't sleep on those. But other than that, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming out.
All right. Well, so I do want to say GG to the other runners who have completed the seed at this point, as well as the ones still running. So Ravioli, GG for the DNF. I know that this was a challenging seed for the strategy of a two-man. It was actually a good instructive lesson. Sometimes you just are the life lesson for folks. I'm sorry that was you tonight, but I hope you had a good time anyway. Phoenix with a 55.28 as second place. Clementitas 103.04 for fourth place. Odron 104.46 for fifth place. PCMN 1331 is still racing, as is One Free Fits. This has been a good time. It's been fun to revisit this flag set from the commentary booth side of things again. I also did the the vetting for this Duck Weekly. It was kinder than this seed. I'm just going to say that up front. Don't be scared, homies. So, you'll get to experience this and enjoy it, I think. This is going to be a fun weekly. I would not be surprised if we saw some extra vets jumping in to play it, because these were good flags, honestly. I think this was a good instructive stream about a lot of things, and I hope that I was able to explain it as it came up. We were having a little bit of chaos in the booth, but that's okay. Thank you to Giga and Rax for doing the tracking, Dark Moon for doing the restream, DM Stewart, my co-coms. Thank you to all the runners. And with that, DM Stewart, your final thoughts and take us on out of here.
Once again, thank you to all the runners for letting us restream you. Thank you to all the racers. Thank you to my partner in the stream, Saracen. Also, thank you, Saracen and Luffy, for trusting Rax and I with continuing on the Duckling program. We will do our best to... We will both... I think I can speak for Rax that we will both do our best to keep it up to that high standard that you two have set. This is a very interesting set of flags. I didn't run this tournament, and You know, I almost kind of regret not running this tournament at having seen these flags, having seen these races. It's nice chaotic. It's a nice bit of chaos. But on behalf of the whole team, on behalf of the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, where we've got 1.5 weeks left to the Duckling Boot Camp, and then the Duckling Derby coming up. I'm DM Stewart 1981. Good night, everybody.